Hi guys, I'm Jesse.
I'm Zach.
And we're here with Totally LA, and we're going to give you a little bit of background on IndieSource. IndieSource started out as a concept where we were interested in importing higher quality blanks from Peru using Pima cotton. We noticed that a lot of the t-shirts used today were just, scratchy, kind of like baseball tees or something you'd use in like your intramural sports teams, and we thought that like a lot of these designers had to have a better option. So as we dug a little bit into the industry, we noticed this huge problem. A lot of the designers and people at the trade shows didn't have access to fully custom, small batch, ethical manufacturing. And so we jumped in the game and slowly but surely built a huge supply chain with a team of wonderful people who can help our customers get fully custom apparel products.
One of the most interesting things about Los Angeles is that there's so much material and an amazing, incredible, huge labor force to support making products, right? So you have a city that is positioned to be a mega manufacturing hub, and that's what it is. I mean, most people think that Milan and Paris and New York are the hubs, but in terms of actual product creation, there's a lot more being done in Los Angeles than in those spots.
Yeah, plus the cost per square foot is much less than in New York because we have this metropolis that we can use.
Right. So our goal is to help build successful fashion brands in a sustainable and ethical manner. And the way that we do that is by buying material from local vendors that are sustainable and working and employing workers that are being paid a fair wage and are working in great working conditions with us. So who do we work with? We work with individuals that have ideas for products, and they could be anywhere in the country, and they could have any kind of background that you can imagine. And so the way that it works is that they come to us with that vision and with their ideas, and they have what's called a kickoff meeting with us here, with one of our experts, and they sit down at the table, they bring some reference samples, and they write out all the things that they want to create, from fabric to fit, from price points. And what we do is we go through all of the main issues that really need to be tackled in the early phase of planning. At the end of that kickoff meeting, we have some clarity as to timelines, what they're going to be making, what fabrics we need to source, and ultimately what success will look like in building the first collection. Now when that's done, we give them their full package quote. They know exactly what they're going to be paying, and then we move into the first phase, which is sourcing. So we pass you to a project manager who's somebody from the industry. This is someone who's done many lines here, and even before working at IndieSource, they have developed and worked with different clothing brands. So they're very experienced in doing this, and they handhold our clients throughout the entire process. And the first part is the sourcing. So what they'll do is they'll go out using the information that the clients have given us. They'll source high quality fabrics and trims domestically, make sure we're hitting target manufacturing price points, and that it's just the exact kind of quality that the brand is looking for. After that's done and approved, we move on to pattern making. That's where we make sure that the fit is just perfect. We use the highest technology of pattern software here in our offices, and we will build and not only provide but give you guys all of the different assets that you need after working with us, so you're always prepared with that intellectual property to make as many garments as you want. So that's the pattern making portion. Then from there, we have our patterns and we have our fabric. We move into cut and sew. So we have an in-house team of cutters and sample makers that are cross-trained and can make anything you could imagine. And so they'll, following the pattern directions, build each sample to your specifications. And once that's done, what we do is we have a fitting. And the fitting is where it all comes together. You come in, bring your fit model, or if you're the fit model, then what happens is you'll put on the garments, we'll tweak different things. You have adjustments. You go back and do another round of adjustments. We make new samples, and then you're just iterating. You iterate until you get the perfect product and you're production ready. You're ready to move and make these units at scale.
One of our biggest advantages is our small batch manufacturing, and so the way we're able to navigate that is by using those local in-stock vendors, and our minimum is one roll of fabric, typically 100 units per color, and you can break that up into sizes. And that gives our clients a huge advantage because the spend they do is much less than if they had to order 1,000 pieces overseas. And so it allows them to get in the game, test their market, and see the market response and test it.
So what does that mean for you as the entrepreneur? It means that you have a team of people that have your back, and you're not going to be in a situation where you're taking huge risks that you don't know who you're working with. And there's a lot of places that you can fail in this industry, so there is a lot of risk. And what we try to do is take that burden off of the entrepreneurs and allow them to focus on telling their story, sharing their vision of the products that they want to make with the world, and allowing our team to be able to navigate the supply chain properly and pull everything together for them, allowing them to scale faster. And that's what it's all about, is growing these brands so that they have a team behind them and they don't feel isolated. And so the times have changed, and a lot of times the businesses now are much smaller. They're more lean, and there's not hundreds of people in an organization anymore, and there's not a ton of financing either. So you have to find ways to be successful within the confines of the current economic structure downtown here. And so what we're doing at IndieSource is having the backs of all these independent fashion entrepreneurs, and we hope that we can support as many of them as possible.
Yeah, what you'll notice is this industry is highly fragmented. And so having a team of professionals who've done this before and know some of the vendors to string along the supply chain is super invaluable for saving your time. Local for local manufacturing is extremely important to us, not only because of the direct jobs we help create, but also the indirect jobs. And this also gives us that control factor, right? So when you're producing overseas, there's a few things that would come to mind. One, you don't have any direct oversight. Two, they could always take your ideas and run with it, and to, combat that would be extremely difficult. Three, the transparency and communication. And four, you'd have to always wonder about the changing tariffs and duties. And so we like to put our money in places where we have complete control and we're able to deliver on our promises.
Yep. And as a new company, as an entrepreneur, wherever you are in the country, you want to be able to kind of like protect yourself in any way possible and help create jobs and support the local economy. We work with a lot of people that aren't necessarily in Los Angeles. I mean, sometimes they could be all over the country or different places, and we find ways to work with them virtually, sending fabrics, sending samples, doing virtual fittings, and making sure that you feel like you're here with us and you're taking advantage of the oversight that we have of the process in a way that you just couldn't have overseas.
You're always welcome to come visit us too and check it out for yourself.
Yes. So we recently added a marketing division where we help brands with e-commerce sites, building that up, doing content and showing behind the scenes footage of how their products are being made, and then running ads and promoting their products to their customer and getting sales for them.
You can find us at www.indiesource.com, as well as on Instagram at indie_source for lots of education and tips and tricks. We hope that you reach out to us today.